I'm Casey McClinnick, and I've been in Southwest Florida for over 8 years, and I've been a part of the Manatee Park volunteer group for a little over 4 off and on.
My name is Shannon and I'm from Long Island, New York.
My name's Jeff. I'm the squirrel. If you didn't know, I will be your narrator.
The power plant is beneficial to the manatees because manatees require a warm water refuge when the Gulf waters get below 68 degrees. Normally they live in the Gulf. Their food sources in the Gulf, just along the shallow reaches, 15 or 20 or 15 feet or so. But when the Gulf gets cold, they must find warm water.
But wait, warm water is good? That's not our assignment. Keep watching, and you'll see why warm water isn't beneficial.
Because of the water releases from Lake Okeechobee into the Caloosahatchee River, it increases a brown tide.
Our world is changing. The fast development of our Florida is raising temperatures. Our wildlife can't keep up. Fort Myers ranked 2018 fastest growing U.S. city. Florida is hot and it's getting hotter. Florida has raised by 1 degree in the last century. Hurricane Irma hit southwest Florida, bringing massive flooding. Lake Ho has to dump water for weeks before and after the hit.
If you needed water during a hurricane, it don't exist.
And the reason why there's no carts at the door is because they're all in the water section.
Bam.
Hurricanes are driven by warmer waters in the Gulf. Hurricane Irma hurt hundreds of manatees.
Because of the water releases from Lake Okeechobee into the Caloosahatchee River, it increases a brown tide. This brown tide in turn kills the manatees' food supply and forces them to eat a less nutritional seaweed grass. This in turn kills the manatee, and we just don't like that.
Female manatees usually have one calf every 2 to 5 years. Manatees come up to breathe every 3 to 5 minutes, but they can hold their breath up to 20 minutes. When they do come up to breathe, 90% of the air in their lungs gets replaced.
They reside mostly in shallow waters, like here behind the barrier islands, so that they can get plants that grow in the sunshine that manages to come through the waters. They don't like to be in deep water at all.
Manatees are typically found in shallow coastal areas and rivers, where they feed on seagrass, mangrove leaves, and algae. These herbivores munch on food for almost half the day, eating 10% of their body weight in plant mass, with weights up to 1,200 pounds. That is a whole lot of greenery. All living things are connected, so if the food supply gets shifted or endangered, then so can the manatees.
Just like this wild rabbit, manatees need air to breathe. Warmer waters prevent mixing, allowing algae to grow thicker and faster. Warmer waters also makes it easier for small organisms to move, allowing algae to float on top of the water. Algae blooms absorb sunlight, making waters even warmer, promoting more blooms. Red tide is to blame for 97 manatee deaths alone. This number has risen every year. According to FWC, blue-green algae can produce harmful toxins that are capable of killing fish, domestic animals, and wildlife. Think of how detrimental this algae and red tide is to humans and our economy. Not only in breathing the toxins, but also lost revenue in tourism.